fresh out booth. If they want the drama, got the ooze. Ship the whole crew to the cruise. Doing shit you don't even see him move. Ride with me, boss. I got a hard head, but her ass off. She want the last name with the ring on it. Cause I pulled out $1 million cash, told her plank on it.
You are unforgettable. I need to get you alone.
Now you want chills, just pop bubbly in the tools.
It's not good enough for me since I've been with you. Ooh. I'm gonna sip on this track when I'm fucked up. I should know how to pick it. I'm gonna catch the rhythm while she push up against me. Ooh, she tipsy. I had enough combo for 24. I picked you from across the room. Pretty little body dancing like a ball. Hey, and you are unforgettable. I need to get you alone. Right now, fucking good time, never hearing nobody. I got a little dream, but it's not good. If you love the ground, then I'm so sorry. I gotta give it to her like the end of the lyrics. Oh, like the end of the lyrics. No, tell nobody. You're on your level too. Tryna do what
You ain't enough for me, too much for you. Alone, baby, go and grab some bad bitches, bring them home. Know the jet's on me, I'ma curb my best for you. You know, so pick up that dress for me, leave the rest on. Too much combo, 24 hours when you stand next to me, 24 hours. She left her man at home, she don't love him no more. I want your mind and your body, don't mind nobody, so you don't never hurt nobody. Baby, go work your body, work your body.
and you are unforgettable. I need to get you alone.
Now you want to, just pop bubbly in the tools.
Oh, like the end of the lyrics. No, tell nobody. You're on your level too. Tryna do what lovers do.
Know the jet's on me, I'ma curb my best for you. You know, so pick up that dress for me, leave the rest on. Too much combo, 24 hours when you stand.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that we'd become one right away. At first sight,
Good morning, Lakeland. Welcome to the LSG 1 hour session. Today, I want to start off. With the quote. The quote was written by Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts." So, as we start this week, we should start our day. We should start our week with new strength. With new thoughts. Let's forget about what happened last week. Let what happened last week or what happened in the past be our strength for this week. Let us have a positive mind as we focus on this week. So today we have the men's center coming up to the office. We are quite happy. Last week we had the women's center. So I'll let Matt introduce himself to us and tell us what the men's center is, what it does, and the upcoming programs and stuff.
Hello, my name is Matt Murray. I'm the Pathfinder program coordinator here in the Men's Center, and we have a couple upcoming events, which is the Pathfinders program. This Friday at 1:30, well, actually at 2 o'clock, the women's basketball team head coach is going to speak to the men here at Lakeland. Refreshments will be provided, so if you guys need a reboost or energy booster or a word of wisdom, motivation, Please come out this Friday at 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, at 2 o'clock we will be hosting a Pathfinders meeting in room A as in Apple 2017, and it's going to be transformational, and it's going to create a change in your mind that we all need.
Okay. As you say that they have a program going on this Friday, so all those who are interested should go to the men's center. I want to know, is it only about the men or women are also invited?
Right now, it's just particularly men. You know, at some point we tend to enlarge our territory a little bit, but right now our focus is on predominantly men. Yeah.
Okay, that's a thing. Good thing to know. I also wanted to ask, like this year, student year, like academic year, clubs are focusing on collaborations and student involvement. So I want to know, have you ever collaborated with any club before, or you're planning on collaborating with another club in some time coming up?
We are planning to connect with the LSG. Well, we haven't connected
Yeah,
with any
right now we are collaborating.
We're connecting right
Yeah,
now, but no,
exactly.
we haven't connected with any other clubs yet. But that's definitely in the process of doing something big for Lakeland students. Yeah.
It's a good thing to know. So diving into the questions, the first question will be: today's generation has been so focused on doing everything that people who are in relationships do without labeling it as a relationship. Do you guys ever host events that help or empower men, even women, to be afraid of commitments, not be afraid of commitment, since they can create a stable relationship environment?
Yes, part of Pathfinders is geared towards men. I believe that men are losing their passion or are scared to achieve their destiny. And so our focus with the Pathfinders is to transform the minds of men so that they can create that stable relationship. Because if you're not committed to your dream and committed to your future, then you won't be committed to a woman. You know, and being commitment is important. And so what following your dream does is give you a revelation of who you are, a revelation on how you perceive life. And nobody wants to be with a depressed man. You know, you want somebody who's in the process of continue creating new moments. That's what life is, creating new moments, you know. And that is our goal, is to improve men, improve the way they think, improve the way they act, and to improve their commitment level towards their studies and their degrees and their jobs.
Yeah, just a point to note. I attended some of your Pathfinders, and I saw that, yes, indeed, your programs are really into this and talk about men, like their relationships and stuff, which is a good thing, because we might try to overlook such issues, but these are issues that affect young men, that affect even adults. You know, be it, marriage and stuff is something that we should consider. And if it's not going well in your relationship or in your marriage, it can also affect your academic life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's a good thing to know that you guys are into that and doing that.
Yeah, one of the first meetings that we talked about was importance of networking and importance of building friendships for where you are going. Next meeting, we had talked about self-identity, you know, knowing who you are for where you are going. You know, that's very important. A lot of men suffer from low self-esteem with doing something that they've never done before. You know, they've been afraid to accept a job or afraid of doing something that challenged their intellectual level about how they see themselves. So, yeah, it's important. It's important to evolve. You know, evolving hurts. You know, evolving, it produces pain, but it produces the best result. You know, I look at growing. It's like no matter how much The Rock lift weights, he always gets sore. You know, no matter how much muscles he has, he is always gets sore. So that's just life. You know, don't be afraid of achieving your dreams.
Yeah, okay, that's some good points you have raised. The next question is, how do you guys at the Men's Resource Center deal with students who are having difficulties with balancing their personal life and school? I think this is a very serious issue, because most of us, you know, it's hard when you're coming from home. You know, you have these problems, maybe it's financial problems, whether it's relationship problems or even academic problems, they all come to you. So how do you, as a resource center, Men's Resource Center, helping out these men, this kind of men with these sort of problems?
Yeah, one of the two things that we have a mentoring session, which is allows me and Jim, the head of the director of the men's center, which is Jim Shelley. Um, we schedule mentoring sessions, and what that does is seeing where the student is mentally, physically, and emotionally. Um, that is our first priority. Then we kind of create a problem. We create a solution by asking the person what are their goals. What are they trying to achieve? What's important to them um, at this point in their life? A lot of times we have to eliminate stuff that are sent to distract us. And so we have to deal with that. And the second thing, we have a emergency now. So let's say if you are a parent recipient receiving financial aid, if you need, like, let's say $500 for a rent or something like that,
Yeah.
you can get that money now. All we need to do is receive valid information of, let's say, eviction notice or a light bill or something like that,
Yeah.
proof of payment, and then we'll get you the money so that you don't have to worry about dropping out of school or trying to pay for rent.
Okay. On that note, you pointed out like you and Jim, you have mentoring session. So are these like walk-ins? Can anybody just come and say, "Oh, guys, I'm having this," or you set up a meeting or stuff? What happens?
We set up meetings. Our availability is Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Wow.
But whenever you're available, you just walk in easily to the men's center. The men's center is located next to the gym, on the right side before you enter the stairs to go down to the actual gym area. It's an easy walk in.
So to all the guys out there, remember that if you have any problem, if you have any issue you want to talk with Men's Center, you can always set up a. They have a mentoring session that they do there, so you can set up an appointment and get to have a session and talk about your problems. The next thing is, has it been difficult building a trustworthy relationship with the student on campus in hope of them knowing that your center is a safe place for them to ask for help? I think this is another issue, every issue that is happening, not with the men's resource center, but with the other clubs. Like, are we building the trust between students and clubs so that, if you see, like some of the clubs are not even getting membership, it means that there is not that trust between students and the clubs. So you as a resource center, main resource center, have you built that trust between students and like the main students and your resource center, that they can feel, yes, this is the place to be, this level? For me, I know I have built that trust. I can safely say this is where I belong, this is my home. But if you build to the other students,
I think yes, it has been difficult because a lot of Lakeland students, their perception on community colleges is that I'm just here temporarily, and once I go to a big university, I'll be able to spread my wings. A lot of people that come to community colleges, they work, they have children, they're at home, so they kind of like filled with distractions. But one of the things that I have found is that once you speak their language, once you create a recipe that they like, they will come. They will come. So it's kind of like a love and hate relationship. It's kind of like getting them to open up, but changing their perspective of how they see, now, how they see community college. Period.
yeah, it's a good point that that a lot of students feel like, okay, I'm just at a community college, I'm going to invest later on. So why do I involve myself with this stuff when I'm going to a bigger university later on? So I think maybe that's the problem with people. They just don't want to get involved because they think this is just a community community college, just pass through. But I believe that students should, wherever you are, it doesn't matter you're coming from a community college going to to a two-year university. If you build yourself from a community college, it will be easier for you when you go to a four-year college. If you build your, let's say, if you engage yourself here, it will be easier for you to engage yourself when you go to a two-year college. So I think it's just that we have to build some trust. So right now, we're going to take a short break. Remember that today we have the Men's Resource Center here at the LSG Monday Talk Show, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Also remember the Halloween party coming for CAP next week. And also this week is the Women's Cancer Awareness Program. So just be aware that, we should support women in the fight for cancer. We'll take a quick short break, and after the short break, we'll continue with the Men's Resource Center. I have Matt here from the Men's Resource Center.
Yeah.
But you know we're at the part, that's the way I give my love. Well, in come the thing them call a broken heart. This blessed love will never part. You don't know it from the start. Me tell them say I'm dirty, yeah. Sean Paul and Sasha, come sing for them, baby.
Though you make me holler, though you make me sweat, I can't get your tenderness. Still I can't get you off my mind. What is it about you, baby?
I don't say dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
Well, I'm a hustler and a player, and you know I'm not a stayer. That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
So girl, they try to understand that the man is just a man. That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
That's the loving from the start, but you know we're at the part. That's the way I give my love.
I'm still in love. Yes, I'm still in love with
What a man gotta do, what a man gotta do. Girl, but I never have a promise and no bling bling for all a girl. But I just love it when me fling fling control a girl. And I make your head swirl, and I make your body twirl, and I make you wanna be my one and only baby girl. Night after night, make you feel love to keep you warm. Girl, you never get this kind of loving from your bond. I know you want your cat, and me just can't perform.
I love you, baby.
Until you get the little loving of a
You
God.
don't know how to love me.
I know no time for no kissing and chow.
Not even how to kiss me.
I do me take a little advice, dog.
I don't know why.
Baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl.
I love you, baby.
I don't see nothing, love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
Well, I'm a hustler and a player, and you know I'm not a stayer. That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
So girl, can't you understand that a man is just a man? That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
The blessed loving from the start, but you know we're at the part. That's the way I give my love.
I'm still in love. Yes, I'm still in
Yo,
love.
what a man gotta do, what a man gotta do, girl. Hey, I do me give back to love and say bye. But turn around, she ask a question, why? When me leave and me see the girl, I cry. And it hurts my heart to tell a lie. So don't cry no more, baby girl, for sure. Just remember the good times we had before.
I love you, baby.
I know you get the little loving and be
You
gone.
don't know how to love me.
I know no time for no kiss up, no
Not
charm.
even how to kiss me.
I do me take your little advice,
I
down.
don't know why.
Hey, baby girl.
I love you, baby.
I know so dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
Well, I'm a hustler and a player, and you know I'm not a stayer. That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
So girl, don't you understand that a man is just a man? That's the way I give my love.
I'm still in love with you, boy.
The blessed lover from the start, but you know we're at the part. That's a dirty love.
I'm still in love. Yes, I'm still in love with
What a man gotta do, what a man gotta do, girl.
Basically, I'm saying it.
I don't know, I don't know I just hope your heart hear me now.
Basically, I'm singing. Sound of the thing now. Miss my baby. I'm sure I'm singing. Sound of the thing now.
It all comes down to this. I miss your morning kiss. I won't lie, I'm feeling it. You don't know I'm missing it. I'm so gone, I must admit. It's too much to hold in. I can't say no more than this. I just hope your heart hear me now. I'll let you know how I'm feeling. You're on my heart, he just rented. Don't turn away, pay attention. I'm pouring out my heart, oh boy. I'm not living life. I'm not living right. I'm not living if you're not by my side. Oh, I'm not living life. I'm not living right. I'm not living if you're not by my side.
Basically, I'm singing. Hello, baby, can you come over? Right now, loneliness taking over. Me need you tonight, yeah, me lover. Come warm me up under the cover. Make me rock till the lampshade turn over. Rub me chest, rest your head on me shoulder. And make we listen some Anita Baker. Make love till we wake up in neighbor. Girl, you're all I need, and I'm always missing you. Miss you, baby. Miss you. I need your tenderness. I can't resist you. Miss you, baby. Me miss you. Girl, hook me up, squeeze me tight and close. Come here, make me brace you on me king size post. Me and you forever, girl. Now go divorce. We toast to long life. We are prosper the most. Love you to no voice when you call me name. Over and over, she scream again. In my arms, me want you to remain till the sunshine come out again. Busy.
I can't eat, I can't sleep, what I need, is you right by my
Basically, I'm
side.
singing. Girl, you're all I need, and I'm always missing you. Miss you, baby. Miss you. I need your tenderness. I can't resist you. Miss you, baby. Miss you. Sound of the thing now.
I'm not living life. I'm not living right. I'm not living if you're not by my side. Oh, I'm not living life. I'm not living right. I'm not living if you're not by my side. Oh, it's me and my favorite spot. You know the one right around the block from a nice place. Let's look to shop. Can you get away? Can I sit down? Let's talk it out. One on without a crowd. I wanna hold you here. Make love again. I need to be with you. Gotta let you know how I'm feeling. On my heart, and she's just waiting. A little way. Pay attention. I'm pulling out my heart. I'm not living life.
Basically, I'm singing. Sound of the thing now. Miss my baby. I'm sure I'm singing.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, as I mentioned, we have the Men's Resource Center, and we have Matt, who is representing the Men's Resource Center. Today, we are talking about the Men's Resource Center and with their program that they do, the Pathfinder, which helps men with a lot of issues around the school and outside the school. So we're asking Matt about like what the Men's Resource Center is about and what they do. So we have a set of questions we're asking. Also to know that just as a reminder, as I mentioned before, remember that there is a Cape Halloween party coming next week. Be sure to come and let's celebrate together. And also this week is the Women's Cancer Awareness Week, and let's help the women fight cancer in their pledge to fight cancer. And also remember that we are on every single Monday, 9 to 10 a.m. As I mentioned before, if you feel like you have something that we need to talk about, something that has to concern with students, their life at school and outside school, feel free, come to our office, LSG office, and we can set up you at a radio station so that we can talk about these things, because this show, this radio station, these clubs, they are for you students, for them to be there, for the clubs to be there. It is the students, so your involvement is greatly appreciated, and we really want students to be involved and feel that they are at home at Lakeland. So continue with our questions today. I'm gonna ask Matt, how do you prepare young men today to present or be available fathers in the future when they have children?
To be a great father is to be a great teacher. To be a great teacher, you must be a great student. So I think learning experiences will teach you how to be great fathers. Knowing what you've been through prepare you for your future. You know, a lot of us has been growing up, especially men, been through verbally abusive relationships, whether with your father, or with your mom or grandmother, whatever. What Pathfinder does is it heals the wounds of your past, and a lot of us, we never had anybody to believe in us, you know. It's a lot of pressure with being a man, you know. We come here with a lot of baggage, and we're worried about will this work, you know. Do I have what it takes to be great at what I am called to do? A lot of us are called to be doctors and lawyers and business owners. But to do that thing that you're created to do will build up your responsibility. You'll have love for something that you never thought you would have love for. And so once you find out what you love to do, you will learn how to care for others, you know. And that's what the point of creativity and doing what you are called to do teaches you how to love yourself and to love the gift that you have inside of you. We all have a gift, you know, and it's up to us to search within ourselves to find out what we have in us, because we are a gift. Everybody is a gift, you know.
Yeah, you noted, like, it's a learning process, you know. And I also believe that, you know, as you grow up, there are kind of stages that you follow in life.
Yes.
You know, you become a teenager, you go to school, you get a job and stuff, but eventually you want to have a family later on, which is an issue that always comes up, you know, at some point when you get older, you start to think about it. So how I'm going to start a family, how I'm going to have this. So it's good to know that you, as a resource center, you're building, you know, young men who want to go into marriage, who want to, you know, start a family. You're building that, you know, that trust in them, in themselves, or to believe in themselves that, yes, some point in time in life, they are going to start a family, and, you know.
Yeah. Starting a family is an experience. You have to learn how to. You can't. When things don't go your way, you know, we get frustrated and mad. You have to learn how to communicate with your partner. Communication is important, and you have to kind of like learn yourself. You know, adjust to the new level. New level brings new problems. You know, so you have to balance work life and spending time with your wife or girlfriend. You have to balance spending time with your children, you know, because you want to teach them how to build up their success. So it's definitely a learning process. And I think one thing that I found is that be vulnerable to life, because life can crush you, but you have to submit to it, because it's going to teach you a lot of things that you didn't know yourself. And we carry
true.
our ego like we know it all, but just once you accept yourself, it's like this is a learning experience. You'll find peace in that just alone. Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to experience new trials and tribulations.
Exactly. You noted that, you know, sometimes in life you crash, like it happens in life. That's how life is. It's like a wheel. It turns. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So what makes a difference is how you pick yourself up when you go down. You know, it doesn't mean like everybody here, like everybody who lives on earth, at some point in time they crash. But what makes them great, or what they make them unique or strong, is how they get up from that crash. So you pointed a good note that, you know, even you, a man, even when you face this problem, you have to get up, you know, be strong, and Yeah, that's a good thing.
I believe that every man was built strong. You just have to stand. I was looking at this one tree particularly, and in the wintertime it had no leaves. It looked withered. But the same tree that I saw in June was filled with leaves, and
Exactly,
it was the same. It was full.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel like you have lost everything, just stand on what you believe about yourself, and everything is going to come back in full circle.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes men tend to feel like everything is falling apart when one of our plans does not go well. I think we talked about this, like what you mentioned. What advice would you give a young man who is going through a rough patch in need of motivation to keep moving forward?
I would ask him, where is he trying to go? You know, where are you trying to go? What is your vision? You must have a vision, purpose, and goals. What are you here to do? And then he says, well, you know, if they say, well, I'm here to get my degree, I want to prove that I can do this to myself. And I said, okay, that is your goal, or that is your vision. What is blocking you? What are you doing mentally that is blocking you from producing the type of what is blocking that mental perception? You know, what are you doing that is causing you to freak out, to worry? You know, what happened to you as a child that caused you to produce this level of worry that you don't believe in yourself? You know, and it's kind of like we dissect the mind and how to move forward. You know, because with the mind you start doing things. You know, so we really tap into the mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's a good point. And as the Men's Resource Center, have you ever been in a situation where you didn't have all or most of the resources you needed to be able to help students on campus? And if yes, what did you guys do to still help students?
We've done, you know, there was many people who came in needing financial help, and a lot of the things with the Emergency Now money gave them was a burden release, because people were coming to school but rent was due, you know, the car note was due. So what the Men's Center did was create a Emergency Now fund. So like if you receive financial aid, you were able to qualify for the Emergency Now money. You know, so like if you need emergency money to pay your rent or car note or light bill or anything like that, we just give them the money and do it that way. And that program has helped a lot of students continue their education instead of dropping out and focusing on just working. Yeah,
I know. Your goal is to help as many men you wanna assist and stuff, but you know, sometimes we are limited in resources. Right. Yeah, that's like effect of life. You know, right. All of us wanna help, but sometimes you're just limited to a certain amount of you know, resources. So it's a good thing that even if you're limited, you try your best, you know, to be able to help these men and stuff. Yeah. And
also, Jim Shelley is, like I said, he's the head of the Men's Center, and also we helped a couple guys out who needed money for books. You know, let's say financial aid didn't come through, or let's say they just didn't have it. You know, we have put up money to help pay for men's books. You know, so we also do that as well. You know, we also found funds to help students pay for books as well. So there's a lot of things that we do within the Men's Center. Just check us out in room L104. Okay,
that's a good point. Remember, today we have the Men's Resource Center. They have their Pathfinder program for men. And it's glad that we are talking about good issues concerning men and stuff at Lakeland. So we're going to take a quick break. Then we'll come back. We'll just do the last part of our interview.
Okay.
Still I got to stick to my girls like glue, and I might not play number 2. All I know the time it is getting jet. Need a lot of cheese up in my head. Got a little damsel in my bed to run that real. Some guy I live them life on them the real. Yeah. Yeah, you don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play number two. All I know the time it is getting jet. Need a lot of trees up in my head. Got a lot of dental in my bed to run that real. Well I know flicker girl them on the road, them got the goody. One thing me up to tell them don't they got the woody. Front way, back way, cut the came on up and shove it. Virgin them want give me and me up to took it. Hot girls out the road, I say them see me. And I tell me say them have something for give me. How much time I night them all a dream about the Jimmy. Them a promise and I tell me say a feel me. But a promise is a compared to a fool, so cool. But they don't know say that man a fi rule the school. When I pet them just wet them up just like a pool. When I dignitary way I fi use up my tool. But I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play number two. All I know this time it is getting jet. Need a lot of trees up in my head. Got a lot of dental in my bed to run that relay. So how can they want big up them chest? But they don't know that to go for they are rated as the best. I wouldn't they love it's the sound of all this. When I get up in I got your only girls with your request. So give me the girl them. Yo in every minute I'm with it to get the girl them.
Welcome back, and today to our LSG 1 hour session, Student Leadership Government 1 hour session. Remember, there is a Cape Halloween party happening next week on Thursday, and be sure to join and have a great time. And also remember that this week is the Women's Cancer Awareness Week. Let's support the women in their fight for cancer. And also today, as I mentioned before, we have the men's center with the Pathfinder program, and we're talking a lot of issues concerning men here at school and outside about their life and how they cope, trying to mix academic and social life. So our last question is, what do you think about feminism and the issue of equality? Because last week we had the Women's Center here, and they really highlighted on this issue, like feminism and equality. And I know it's a big issue around the world. Women, are vowing towards this, and women have strong, motives about this. So, what you as men resource center, or you personally, what do you think of feminism and equality?
I think feminism is good. I think that they want to be heard. They just want to have an opportunity to succeed. And I think that that women have the right to be who they are independently and to achieve their destiny. So I am a big supporter of feminism, and I think that the issue with equality is that society has created these roles of male and females, and that the male is superior and the female is less dominant.
Yeah. And there's some and there are some cultures in social circles that still have that belief that men should always be above. They don't believe in equality. They believe in this difference between men and women, and they're still there, and you can't change their mind because people are subject to to different values and beliefs. So that's how it is.
Right, but it's just basically they just want opportunity, and they deserve to be recognized. It takes a lot to be a woman, and it takes a lot to be a man. I think that anybody who appreciate a woman and their value and the value that they bring into a relationship it just doesn't make any sense. Partnership is important.
Mm-hmm.
If I love somebody, why would I tell them that they can't be all who they can be?
Exactly.
And vice versa. So accept it. Women have a right to own businesses, and they are intelligent, and men, you are intelligent too. Just because a woman makes more money doesn't mean you're less than a man.
Mm-hmm.
A man can still be a provider, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's a good thing that that you men are in support of this and stuff. So do you, I know we talked about collaboration, but I think it will be a good thing at one point to have the Pathfinder, the women's resource, and even us and the single parents, get together, get to plan sort of an event or stuff, so that we can get to talk and hear from different sides, at the same time. So it's a good thing that you guys are in support of feminism and equality, because people are subject to equal living. Nobody should be above the other. So, but I know society sometimes makes it that way, but we try to divert from that, and everybody should be equal.
Yeah, because I mean, women now are graduating. The graduation rates for women, women are
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We're talking about the women's center. When we're talking about the women's center last week, they also mentioned that, like in the medical field right now, you can see there are a lot of women doctors, women nurses. I was telling them, like in my class, like my anatomy and physiology one, I think, like we're only two guys and there were like 36 girls in the class. So it shows how women are going into this medical field and are doing all different careers. And also the girl that came last week from the women's center, Mary, she's also doing human resources, and it's actually a point that she noticed that there are most women in human resources and stuff. So it's a good thing to know that such things are happening.
Yeah, we got some work to do with our sons, and we gotta build up their stamina.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get off the couch and start doing what they love to do. And once you find out what you love to do, then you'll be committed to it.
Yeah.
And believe in it. Believe in what you have, and believe in your future and in yourself.
Yeah. Like the point is that we have to do a lot for our kids. That puts us to, like, next week we're having the parents association. We're gonna have them here, so we're gonna discuss a lot about children issues, how to raise kids and stuff, and about family and stuff. So it's a good thing that you pointed that. So actually, as you can see, we are trying to link from the Women's Center Pathfinder and now to the Parents Association. That's why I said we need to get all of you guys at one point together, because these resources, they are vital to our school. They are, I think they are important to our school. Like, to know that you have a place where you can go as a man, to know as a woman you've got a place that you can go as a parent. Even if you have kids, you have places to go. I think it's very, very, very important. And I know, like what we discussed before, that you said people may feel that it's a 2-year college, I don't want to be involved. But I think it's high time we students value these resources, get involved, because they help us. You have the men's center, you have the women's center, you have the parents association, you have the kids association. You all can. It's just a home, For some of us, this is like a home, because when you come here, you have everything here.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to thank, like, the Lakeland. As you know, we are celebrating 50 years of anniversary. I think they have made this college be like a home. Everything is a campus. It's just that maybe some of the time we don't get involved or don't appreciate, but this is a home. Any last words you want to say to the students? And
I just want to say, students, just be great at what you are called to do. And don't allow the pressure of studying stop you from believing in yourself and in your dreams. Once you study, you take time out and explore what you want to do. Go out to Barnes and Nobles, read a book, read a book, buy a book and read it. Next, I want to also talk about, again, this Friday, the Men's Center is hosting a Pathfinders meeting this Friday at 2 o'clock. The head of the women's basketball team coach is going to be speaking.
wow.
And so it's always a good thing when men come together. That's something that they don't know about.
Yeah, exactly.
There will be refreshments served, but just come for a word. Come for a motivation. Get your notepads out and pens and begin to, let life teach you. So come out this Friday at 2 o'clock. The meeting will be in room A as in Apple 2017.
All right.
Come out, support.
Okay, guys, remember to join the men's center on Friday, as they have the Pathfinder meeting. They have the basketball women's coach coming up. So do you want to give, like, a highlight of the topics that they talk about, or it's just going to depend on the head coach?
It's going to depend on the speaker.
Okay.
He hasn't gave us the whole thing is self-identity. That's our movement. But he hasn't gave us the topic on what he's going to talk about.
All right. Okay, so to all the guys out there, today we are at the Men's Resource Center. They have the Pathfinder program. They have a meeting on Friday. They have the head coach of the women's basketball team. Be sure to join them, and be sure and be open to visit them at their office. They're open, and they'll be ready to serve you. They have mentoring session, and today we'd like to thank them for coming up and sharing with us. We discussed a lot of issues that has to concern men. And remember, next week on our LSG 1-hour talk show, we're gonna have the Parents Association. And as I said, before, and as I'll continue to say, this talk show is for you students. Please feel free to come in and give your opinions and ideas, and let's share. And remember that also in 2 weeks' time we're having the Care Halloween party, and be sure to join them and have some fun. And also for those who are willing to know something about us, the LSG, you can come to our office. We have our meeting today also at 11. You can be sure to join us and get in touch. Right now, we're gonna get into some music. As I said today, it's all about dance, all about Jamaican music. Thank you, Matt, for coming, and we hope a lot of guys will appreciate and visit the Men's Society.
Baby, you don't have to keep looking through my phone if something's going on. Girl, you'd already know. We can't even say 2 words without a fight anymore. How did we get here? Baby, I gotta know. On the other side of love, you tell me you hate me and I hate you more. On the other side of love, how did we get here? Baby, I gotta know. Hey, baby girl, longevity is a thing where you get with love, trust, and good liberty. So listen me and just believe I make us stop and go on like we are enemy. Come out definite. Without you in my life, my girl, it would be desperate. Come, I can't forget all the times when you had my back, girl, you give me medicine 100%. So I represent when you represent. I'm the president, you my first lady. Girl, you ever sent, I'm my first baby. I told you, girl, when you first met me, it's a crazy world, nothing come free. Baby, you don't have to keep looking through my phone if something's going on. Girl, you'd already know. We can't even say 2 words without a fight anymore. How did we get here? Baby, I gotta know. Sing that. On the other side of love, you tell me you hate me and I hate you more. On the other side of love, how did we get here? Baby, I gotta know. Girl, I remember when you first gave it up and we began to first live it up. I tear it up, I gave it up. We came to love with no fair enough, but now you ain't seen it clear enough. Yeah, you're looking at my phone and tearing up. And tell me you want me swearing up. Me, I tell you what we share is us. I told you, girl, when you first met me, it's a crazy world, nothing come free.
With you, I always wanna be beside you, and I know there's something about you, I don't wanna let go. I give you my heart, you always keep me warm in times when it gets cold. This is forever, girl, got to let you know. And when the rain is falling and you whisper my name, since you came into my life, girl, I'm not the same. Just be true, don't play with my heart, girl, it's not a game. Real love got nothing to do with no fortune or fame. I wanna be with you everywhere. I wanna be with you everywhere. Stay by my side, baby girl, you know I'm feeling you. In my arms, cause you know say that me needing you. Right up my life, right up my life. Ain't no limit to true love, the whatever you feel free to. Follow you straight to the tallest mountain or the deepest sea. Girl, where you are, that's where I wanna be. Hey, with arms wide open, I'll receive you. I wanna be with you everywhere.
baby. Yeah, you and I. Come to me, wintertime. I'll keep you warm without a fire. I'll fulfill your heart's desire. You and I. Baby, feels so good to be with you tonight. Baby, feels so good to have you in my life. Baby, join me on a trip to paradise. Baby, my rain comes with thunder. Smiling so much your friends wonder. Yeah, if it's a secret, don't hold it no longer. Let it out.
It's a local music spotlight here on Lickback Radio. Morning in May, Monday morning.